fighting to get in this game. Could barely keep up with the reasons. Been focused on eating and keeping my family together. You know, some I no longer reason. Still holding no grieving and striving to get to a place where they see that we overachieving. Holding no secrets, giving to all of my peeps in the gutter who struggle for decent. Puzzling pieces, trying to put them together. You know how they trying to hide it in times of silence. The hood be looking real hungry, you know they reside.
All righty. Okay, let's get this started. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Chapter 8 book discussion, family book discussion for the 50th Law. I am Generation X.
Generation Y, millennials.
And that's the royalty guy is Generation Z.
Generation Z.
So I'm X. We are X. We have two millennial Y and one X. And then we have the Z. I liked this chapter.
Yes.
I really liked this chapter. So this chapter was, let me find, yeah, let's put it up there. Respect the process. So basically respect the process, even with this. This is chapter 8. It's the end of the part. So it's really talking about many would have stopped reading this book probably last chapter. We have 2 more chapters left. So respecting the process, because once we have commitment, a lot of times, okay, it's getting boring and we're going to move forward. So going through mainly of respecting the process. So I'm gonna start on what I got. Do you all want to do it a little different? Just talk about what we got out the chapter, or we want to go like how we were doing it before?
Honestly, when we got out the chapter and like kind of like pass the ball around, go off of what each other's saying.
Okay. So who's gonna start? The Zer? You want to start?
Vizier. Is that a word?
So
Respect
so,
the word.
I say on the very first page, I had started circling and underlining. This chapter is very insightful. I wrote down basically you have to learn patience and be a master of your craft. Like you rush too much, you move too fast, you will miss something and you will end up falling. So you might as well just go straight through it. I underlined a part um, that says right here, whatever they manage to get slips through their hands as fast as it comes in. You, on the other hand, want to outlast your rivals. Just like um, just like what Dr. Michelle said, when it comes down to it, a lot of people might have just stopped reading the book by this time. People are either very arrogant and they might feel, oh, the rest of the book can't have any more information. I already know all of this. They're arrogant. They let their ignorant mind and their mind to rush get ahead of them, and then it's just you really have to take a step back sometimes. This chapter is a very amazing chapter to me.
I
And
relate.
even
Go ahead.
like, even like what you said, like like been reading this, it's stuff. There's no more the information or it's stuff that I already know. Like, cause it's like things like in this book totally that it's I knew already, but sometimes you just need that reassurance or at least like a word or a saying or something just to put your finger on it. Like sometimes we be like man, I can't put my finger on it, something, But it like gives it a way to actually put your finger on it and to actually see it and have a word for it. So when it actually happens in life, you could be like, okay, this is that. Instead of just going through it and just going by exactly how you feel and like just the way like to just to put like, okay, this is X, Y, and Z. So let me see it as X, Y, and Z rather than just going through the motions.
I relate this with Karate Kid when the guy he told him to go paint the yeah, he was like wax on, wax off. He said, go ahead and paint the fence. He's like, I'm tired of painting this fence. I don't want to do this. He started getting irritated. So not knowing he was doing certain slow items in order to move forward, in order to master what they were gonna that you would master. So I also look at the Karate Kid analogy with that as well. For me, it reminded me of the work in a home life balance, especially now that I have a child, and not to pour so much into work or pour so much into one thing, but to um, kind of deviate it. So we went into so wouldn't it in also going forward what we learned in the military I like. So you gradually, we got to, like you say, everybody, I remember when I was in undergrad, and that's a shame. Back in undergrad, my professor was saying, you all want microwave, you want stuff right now. You want things quickie, quickie, quickie right now. You must trust the process. And he was a foreigner as well. So he's like, do things slowly but surely. And I also tell people when I'm tutoring people in math, when they can't, they say, I don't understand how, I don't know math, I don't know algebra, I don't know calculus. I said, reason why you do not know algebra or calculus, most likely you missed something in the process. So I tell them, go to Khan Academy, start at kindergarten. I'm like, yes, it's going to be boring and you're going to believe you know what you know based on kin. I said, but you missed something. You missed something for you not to understand algebra, calculus, trig. You missed the basics. So I need you to go back and learn the basics. And that's also what I thought about when I was going through this chapter as well.
Yeah, because like if you think about it, that's like trying to start off like you can't do calculus if you don't know how to do algebra. You can't do algebra unless you know how to add, divide, subtract. So like when people like first like find themselves in a place where it wasn't the actual process that got them there to actually learn it, then it's different. Now I admit like me, like I was naturally good at math, so my process is probably a little easier some, but I wasn't good at history, and some people good at remembering stuff. So I got to work harder at that actual thing to actually get there.
Your location. And I look at constant and never ending improvement. What can you do? And he said a lot of people are stuck on the right now type of attitude, the get rich knowledge. Even when I teach my classes, they think that they can learn how to do a particular program. Okay, we're writing functions in program. You need to learn how to write a function. They believe they have written one function. Now they have it, but I need you to write it again. I need you to write again and again and again and again
Get
until it
better at
becomes
it and know why you're doing it as well.
right. And it's also with weapons. Think about when you are shooting a weapon. You got to do it over and over again. So it becomes a part of you, an appendage of you. So if you need to, even a car, when you're driving a car.
Yeah,
So
second nature. Yeah,
With
think,
everything,
riding the bike.
second nature. Everything becomes second nature. And like how it even says in the book, once you do something over and over again, and you take that slow route to truly become a master of your craft, other ideas and thoughts start coming into your head. You start to really understand everything about it. Everything starts to open up. It's almost like opening up your third eye. You start seeing it way clearer. Now, everything that you're doing, if someone else was to ask you, oh, why is this so difficult? You're thinking, it's not that hard. It's actually very easy because you're now a master. Now they have to become a master as well.
and do it over again. I'm sure with you all, when you writing code or doing certain in the IT industry, inside the industry, there's certain things that's an anomaly, and you can see when that pattern is interrupted, and it's like you just see it and you know it.
Mm-hmm. And like, and I kind of take this as a like someone who become a millionaire. Like if so that's why people who win the lottery end up going broke real quick, or even people like basketball and football or athletes who are not like the top tier. Like of course you like Kobe or somebody or like LeBron and KD like the top name, but what about the third person off the bench who probably get like I don't know like 7 million a year, something like that, which is still good money, but it's not 50 million a year, you know, like you can't blow that probably, you know what I mean? But so like when people like win the lottery, like cause sometimes like when in essence, if you are an athlete, it's kind of like winning a lottery, even though you work to get there. But you don't know anything about finances. You don't know about the hard grind it actually takes to actually do business stuff and loopholes within like businesses and things of that nature. So if you don't work, if you don't have that foundation to actually get there, then you're gonna end up blowing what you got. But even if somebody like that lose weight, like if you get liposuction, instead of actually working out every day, then you, like 9 times out of 10 you're gonna gain that weight like right back because like you didn't go through the actual process to get there.
That's why I believe 2020 was a blessing in disguise. If people use 2020 that's allowing you to be at home or away from people, it should give you an opportunity to go within yourself and see what you can do slowly to get there. But I'm sure other people are they're blowing it as well, but because they're not understanding that, but understanding, okay, I'm here, I got time, I'm not going anywhere. I might as well start reading this. I might as start writing this. I might as well learn this particular skill. But you still have to understand. I would say keep your eye on the prize. When you get bored, keep your eye on the prize because boredom kicks in. What are they talking about? Commitment. What is the definition of commitment?
Commitment, well, I just say like doing everything with the same intensity that you actually started off with.
Right.
Even when that initial phase start, like even on that focus, like focus. I say focus when bored. Focus when bored, just get back on the grind. Focus like Ford, just get back in the ride. Focus on yours and not focus on mine.
That's right. Levitated minds. That's that right there. Go get the track. Check it out.
Levitated, you feel? But yeah, the focus when bored part is like the hard thing, though, because like you say, even with the Mr. Miyagi, like wax on, wax off, or like the newer one they made with Will Smith's he was like, take your jacket off and put it back on and take it off. And then after a while, like you got that natural motion that's just coming and you don't even know exactly how you did it that fast or why it's second nature to do it. But like, it's it just be hard sometimes, you know.
I mean, even with I know I don't know what tribe in Africa, but I remember how reading this and they were talking about capoeira, that martial art in capoeira, and they show the children how to play with it, not knowing they're learning the different type of movements. It's all in play, but they're really learning the craft. So
Right.
even with that, you never know when those skills are getting kicked in. So
Like when you was teaching me math, and I didn't know you was teaching me math.
right, when I was teaching you math, when I started teaching you how to count, then we start adding, then we start multiplying, then we start doing fractions. All that look, all that stuff started at 18 months in dealing and learning how to do math. So in royalty, his is mainly reading. He can read through certain things and understand the in-depth part of certain history. He can memorize certain things much easier than me. I'm a logical person. Show me how to do a logical, I do it. I'm not memorizing anything. Everybody have their own skill. So we understand how to shoot. Do the little parts. You want to learn a new skill, you have to do the small part. I have a co-worker. It's an old co-worker, and we were hiring another IT instructor. And I don't know if he's going to listen to this. We're hiring another IT instructor. We looked at his resume, and I was like, "Wow, this guy good. We need to hire him." He was like, "No." I'm like, "No, but look at all these skills." He was like, "No." He said he has no grunt work. How does he know if he's in the IT industry? He has nothing. If he's talking about he's doing networking, he should have some type of skills prior to going straight before being a super duper network admin. Does he know about IPv4? Does he certain things like that? That was not listed anywhere on his resume. So he didn't have the basic steps. So he's like, he don't know it. He just souped up their resume. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess we're hiring him.
But I know, even like in the industry to today, like it's a lot of new stuff that's like coming out, and I don't know stuff like so. I guess I'm kind of in a respect the process type moment right now, like so, because I didn't actually go to school for IT, and I've been kind of like learning on the job. So it's like certain stuff I kind of bypassed because it kind of it was there already, and it was like magic happening behind the scenes. I know it's not magic because like the business think it's magic when I do stuff, you know, like but it's like certain things. So we have stuff going on new platforms and different phases. So like we run into like environmental issues. And it's like stuff I was known to deal with back then. I just knew how to deal with it this way just because I was doing it all the time. But I never knew like the why behind a lot of stuff. And it's kind of coming back to bite me right now. So I'm kind of like relearning the respect the process moment, you know? Like so sometimes it doesn't have to be just the process going. Sometimes you just have to go back and like learn it or whatever. Like kind of like if you like know somebody or whatever. Like it's people that know me before I had money, when I got money. Some people that know me this side, now they know me this side. You know, like so it and you have to like learn that person as well. Like, okay, what was you like this before then, or why was you like this before? You know, like and actually understand a person. Like you get into a relationship, a friendship, or even just knowing somebody. Like you've been knowing me my whole life, mom. So like you know like all the flaws, all I ain't gonna say all of them, but you know you know like a lot of stuff that like went on rather than someone who met me like 2 years ago, or someone who met me 10 years ago when I was in school. Like so it's just a different a different perspective that it gives you like when you actually have that actual process or a journey like that you can actually see.
So I'm glad you're learning, and this chapter is kind of coming real great. And I'm also glad. Look, I'm glad it's happening to you, so you can know to slow down and go back. So applying that same type of knowledge to other areas in life as well, knowing how to slow down, back, look at what's going on. And you do that already by making your logical. We can have a paralysis of analysis and a lot, because I'm the same way. I'm not a person, let me jump in and I swim. Once I get there, I have to understand the process, and I do
Yeah,
respect
what
the
is
process.
water? You know, like, yeah.
Like, it's cold. Okay, I'm gonna do a front stroke, back stroke. I need to know all. I have to be competent. I'm a person that has to be competent as I move forward. But sometimes that ends up stopping me. It ends up stalling me as well. So I will have to have somebody around me who also would just jump in, but we can balance each other on that part as well. So I like this chapter. I put math. I put the math part. We talked about that. Oh, I like this on page 214, y'all. Before it's too late, we must wake up and realize that real power and success can come only through mastering a process, like we've been saying, which it in turns depends on the foundation of discipline that we are constantly keeping sharp. So it's all also part of 7 habits of highly effective people. Habit number 7 that sharpens your saw. You have your different habits, but you have your habit number 7 that sharpens the saw as well. So things that you have to do, and I think about that. What else I said? Military training. I put that in there. Oh, the fearless. I put stars here. Did y'all put stars here? The fearless types in history inevitably displays in their lives a higher tolerance that most of us use for repetitiveness. So boring tasks. So people who can move forward correctly, they are not afraid of the boring task.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's saying, go ahead.
Oh yes. I everything you just spoke on, I underlined and circled those things. Because yes, being patient in its own way is something you have to master. Patience is a virtue. If life is your perspective, then patience is your virtue.
I like that. If life is your perspective, then that means patience is your virtue. Did you get that from somewhere? I'm writing that down. I'm posting that. That's the Facebook post.
Like
Go viral off that post.
Right. If wait a minute, if life is a perspective, then patience. I know about patience is a virtue, but I ain't know the life is a spectrum.
it's like this is me just speaking from my own head right now. Like because of all of that, like anyone and I hear a lot of people following the trend of time is an illusion. if time is truly as an illusion, then that means you have all the time in the world to master your craft.
So take your time. Why try to move fast?
Why move too fast? And I think that really comes from people thinking that they're thinking, oh, I have to. I'm only gonna live this long, or I'm gonna be old at this time. No, you're 18, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You still have the time to do everything you're wanting to do as in your
You never
craft.
know, like you might die tomorrow anyway. Like you might as well just like do it the right way. I think I remember I was like putting it to me as a metaphor, like why women think they gotta get married by a certain time or have babies by a certain time. And they use the metaphor of um like it's like you're a plane. You're playing, you're flying, and you don't know exactly like when you're gonna run out of gas. So it's like, okay, I need to find somewhere to land real quick. I need to find somewhere to land rather than like, I don't know, I just had like a situation about a year and a half ago, whatever. I don't know, but it's like when like usually like when you like want to hurry up and get married and start a family, have kids, like know that person first. You know, like you have to know why you want this and if you want it with this person or actually seeing these red flags rather than just trying to land right there. Like it's land mines down there. Like you don't want to land right there. You know, like
Right.
And it truly takes a process. It takes a huge process, and everything. Like you really have to just sit back and think. Like the brain is a powerful tool, but people commonly forget to use it.
They come forget to use it.
People forget to use it. It's a powerful tool. I always bring up things like how did the nomads years and years ago find their destination? How does all of this stuff happen? When have we just started to forget that we can do this without these crutches? Be patient, sit back. Like there's the one quote that's in the book that he's talking about that I think it's on where is this at? It's something that I had circled too. All of a man's troubles come from not knowing how to sit still.
Yeah, I got that. But you're good at meditating, so that's part of you anyway. So you know how to. You will sit and meditate. Like, where is he at? He in the room. Is he coming out? No. I remember when you was a baby, everybody was looking for you, and we go look like you laying down in the room. Nobody ain't even thinking about anybody. You just laying in like, okay, I'm just laying in the room. I'm getting away from everybody. I want to be away from these people. They're getting on my nerves. So you just ran. I think that's the time when you want Leandre Dre, you wanted to see Scotty on the Bulls. And he
oh,
did.
you said yeah for the first time in life.
Yeah, for the first time. And I guess it was a huge accomplishment because he ran off and when he went in the room and just laid down, we started looking for him and we couldn't find him no more. And he was in the room asleep. I think that word yes took a lot of energy out of him.
Whoa. Like only thing he ever said in his life was no, 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 no.
Like everything, like you can learn a lot from silence. It is something that I've relearned and relearned and relearned. So mastery is like how the book says, mastery is a huge thing. Like in this chapter, just because you think you've mastered something in 2015 does not mean you also mastered it in 2017 or in 2020 or in 2025. You have to
You
sharpen
gotta
your
keep
tools.
going.
You have to keep doing it. You have to keep mastering the same thing that you've already mastered, and you're gonna keep learning something different.
What what you be saying? My prepare for war in the calm or something like that.
Right. You prepare for
Prepare
doing
for
peace.
in peace. Yeah.
Right. So you always and I mean that's how we do it. You end up you knowing how to read an operation order, knowing what needs to happen. So when that particular item or task happen, you're not emotional. You're actually looking at things in a logical way. You're seeing certain things that's going on. And like what 50 Cent said, he noticed a lot of stuff when he ended up going over to corporate America. He's like, it's just like what the hustlers did. They wanted stuff right now, right now, right now. And instead, he ended up to slowing himself down. He ended up using the music industry as a college. He started learning everything. And then by the time he got shot, they told him, we don't want to mess with you anymore. He had learned everything he needed to do.
Everything.
And
Yeah.
so and I always tell people, it was like, I'm not working for the man. I'm not working. I'm like, go get into the field. If you want to have your own business, why are you not working?
Step out the door.
Huh?
Spook that step out the door.
Right. Go ahead and learn. Yes, we need to read that.
It's like when people want in businesses, how hard do you think everybody that says they want a business is willing to work to achieve that
Right.
goal?
They don't know you up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and getting 2 hours of sleep. They don't understand those. I mean, some people are supposed to just be workers. It make a nice idea. I'm gonna have my own business. But they don't understand it takes work.
It sounds amazing. Like even when I talk to the business owners out here, he's like I sleep probably 2 hours.
Right.
He's like then I wake up. He's like it was more of a cat nap, then I wake up and get back to business. He's like it happens so much that my face just stays in that mode of focus.
Sometimes because you're grinding for yourself. So you also had a motivation for yourself as well. And you're also learning certain things. Even when people want to learn a new skill, a new task, learn what you need to do, stop and listen. And listen, like you said.
Sometimes you gotta treat it like a job, because a job you get paid to show up, and if you don't show up, you don't get paid.
Right.
You know, so if you treat your craft like that and in the same like mindset, like what were you saying, man? Like well, grandma with she was saying like it was like raining outside or something, and like you wanted to go out.
Oh yeah.
She was like,
with her.
she was like, would you go to work right now? Yeah, we'll go out then. You know, like
Yep, that's what she said. And even here, I work from home. I come when it's time for me to get up and work. I mean, it's different because it's more as an adjunct. I don't have to punch a clock. I can come in anytime, do the work and whatever. I'm setting my own hours unless I'm teaching a live session, which only probably 1 or 2 nights of the week that I'm teaching a live session. Everything else is behind the scenes. If I'm grading assignments, looking at discussion boards and things like that, I wake up, eat, turn off, close the bedroom door, come into the office. I need to actually come in and close that door. And now I'm in work mode. So you have to have that work mode as well when you're working from home and things like that, getting that certain mindset.
yeah, I think like
Discipline.
when we first like started working from home, it was like I know it can't hit everybody out of nowhere, like with the people who are working from home. Even though you probably do it here and there or at certain stints at a time, but it wasn't permanent. And someone sent someone out. It was like still do your same routine, still do your process. If you work out at this time, still get up and work out. If you do this, like if you eat at this time, still eat at this time. If like don't just straight get out the shower and work. Like if it usually take you 45 minutes to get to work, then listen to music for 45 minutes. You know, like still trying to like get yourself back into that regular routine that you was in, because that's basically your regular process that you're used to going through, you know.
Here's one thing that's funny. When this entire COVID thing first started with going home and working from home, I was telling people, I'm like, tomorrow we going home. And they're like, no, we're not going home. We're going to stay here. I'm like, tomorrow we going home. And they're like, why you say that? Because tomorrow's my birthday and that's just my luck.
It's just your luck.
So we going home.
It happened on your birthday too. That's crazy. Like,
and like we all get in there and they're like, you did this. No, I did. I just knew it was gonna happen.
Right. Where am I? On page 219, y'all. I guess we've been talking about this already.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been talking about this, so we can pass that one.
The one thing I will say I like on here is the new pattern of thinking and learning is not progress. Like it creates a phenomenon that we should call the short circuit. Like when everyone gets short circuit, you overworking so much, it just short circuits. And I feel like people do that when they're rushing, when they rush it in their head because they want that quick money.
Right.
I feel like they're doing so much. There's so much going on in their head without them knowing. They just short circuited themselves. They're over here trying to do everything that you should have to take a year to do, and they're trying to complete that in a week.
Yeah, and that's what I understand. I'm like, they was like, I want to know what you know. I said, guess what? This is 20 years.
Right. I hear people think they could just put their brain put their brain in your position.
Right.
Like you go know everything I know and everything you know. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that.
It don't work like
Your
that.
process, I have mine. Like we know different things. That's why people work like that together.
Like the one thing that even people that I talk to, that are like, oh, I'm doing all of this in this one day. You're about to forget everything you just did.
Because
Like
you're not right.
like even when reading, because was it Albert Einstein that said like basically you have to sleep. Sleeping is what retains the information.
Right.
And now I'm thinking back to when I was in high school. I'm like, I'm over here studying and trying to study right before the test. Why? I'm not about to remember anything I just studied.
So what did I teach you, Dre? You had to take a nap every time you came home from school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's I tell my students, I say, do not.
I'm
You have to take because the brain it ends up storing it. That's been scientifically proven. It stores the information where it needs to be stored.
Like,
I did this whole second paragraph on page 220.
yeah, yeah.
uh-huh. The ability to endure drudge work is what I underlined on this one.
I did too.
I circled there are no there are no shortcuts.
I did too. You
And
want to see my lines? Let me see it.
and then I underline what you really will be doing is mastering yourself, your impatience, your fear of boredom and empty time, your need for constant fun and amusement. Like if I feel like once you start to learn how to rewire your brain and you start to trick your brain in certain ways, almost as a placebo effect. Like when you tell somebody, "Oh, this is vodka, but it's really water," and they over here, "I'm drunk from that's water."
Yeah. like sugar pills.
I'm
Like
drunk from water.
it's like an entire placebo effect. So it's like once you start rewiring yourself and you're like, okay, that's no longer fun, but you know what is fun is going to work, saving this money, investing in this company, getting these bitcoins. This is now my hobby. My snacks are no longer chips and Debbie cakes. My snacks are now apples, grapes, and strawberries.
Well, I like that. Go ahead.
Once you
Oh
start,
shoot, he teaching today. Look, he the one with the knowledge.
well,
I suddenly some grapes and strawberries right now. You know that.
Generation Z is passing on the knowledge.
like once you start rewiring, and it takes that 45 days, that's now a habit. You're now so used to it, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna just keep doing this.
And then I like how what's the guy name? The attorney,
Thurgood
Brown
Marshall.
versus Board Education.
Thurgood Marshall.
Yes, Thurgood Marshall. Yes, I like how he went in and this he did it totally different. He didn't go to school. Well, it probably was a good thing that he couldn't get into school. So he's like, no, I'm not going. I'm gonna go this route. So he got grimy. He got in the dirt to understand the system, knowing how to dress, knowing the different type of words, understanding which judge like certain things, knowing how to finesse, basically, right?
Yes, yeah. So it's kind of like when certain people go to jail, certain people come out like extra, way more knowledgeable because they're doing something with their boredom of time, and some of them like turn into almost lawyers in a certain type of way, knowing like how to like see certain things and gaining their knowledge.
Right.
Like even with what's the one story about the boxer that was in there too? Even with him, he said that he went in and got beat up constantly because he couldn't afford it. So he's like, let me go in and I'll be the human punching bag because now I'm about to learn every tactic all of y'all had by being patient even through the storm.
He's learning the patience. And like I said, 2020, hopefully people are doing that as well. Learning the skill, learning the patience. I mean, certain things that's making you stay in the house and do certain things. Well, people ain't making them, but they're not.
Like the fact that people can really go on eBay, Amazon, and they can make an account. They can go to Walmart.com and go, oh, here's these items right here that people aren't buying. Maybe I can sell it on eBay. I don't even own the item yet. Maybe I can drop ship. Like that's the entire thing. It's like when it comes down
You
to
say the point, you get the ding.
Oh yeah, For Life is back on. Yeah, Tierra, it's back on. And season 2 is back. Yes, For Life. Yes, and yeah, For Life. That's a true story. You all seen For Life on what he's doing in jail and everything. Y'all haven't seen that? Looking For Life. It's a true story. Season 1 already came in. It's on season 2 now. For Life. I like what he did about Michelangelo. So we were almost done, you all.
Yeah, we gotta get to this Jeezy and
Yeah.
Gucci Mane and Jeezy. You feel me?
Okay. Okay, go ahead. I can't hear you. Speak up. Yo.
What really got me about the lawyer was it wasn't even 100 years ago.
You said it wasn't even 100.
It was not
Right.
even 100 years ago.
Yep. It wasn't 100 years ago. Okay, I'm on page 230, you all. And okay, let me tell you all what this chapter actually refocused me, is refocusing me. I don't know if it's doing the same thing for you all on, because you can be so scattered on what you are trying to do and you're looking at different things and different items that you want to do. So it's because I always hear people like, well, I'm good at everything. Okay, choose one thing and become a master at it. So in here, like you said, you cannot persist on 2 or 3 paths. Choose that one. And I've always said that, but this right here is like bringing me back. It's reeling me back in, because I've always say choose one path and focus on that one path. But in the last, since I have all this time, I'm thinking on different things. It's all over the place. I'm like, you know what? Choose one thing. Don't jump anywhere else and just focus on that one thing and do it that way. So it actually brought me, because I like my downtime. I don't care about the boredom. I like putting in the grind. I like putting in the stacking the bricks, making sure the straw is there and making sure the foundation is there. I like doing that. That's part of me. That's my personality. So, but it did bring me back. It says, we we were single-minded. You must simply rediscover and redevelop this trait. Like a baby. When a baby starts learning how to walk, their focus. Or if you tell a baby no, if you tell a baby no, if you tell a baby no, you can't have this. But this particular item, somebody's gonna know this story because I'm about to tell it. This particular item is on the top of the refrigerator, because this person told me this story as well. And the child wanted this particular item, and he said, "I'm gonna get it." I laughed when then the baby ended up climbing on top. You know who said that? T's son, Gemini. She told me a story about Gemini, and he was like, "I want that particular item. I'm gonna get it." He figured out how, and he climbed up on top of the refrigerator to get his cereal. So his focus, his single-minded, shows me whatever he wants, he's gonna be focused. I just hope he keep that same type of mindset on what you want to do, whatever you want. And it's like being a football player. You have those blinders and you know which way you're going to go, but you make sure you have a team around you to make sure you're not going to hurt yourself, but just go ahead and be single-minded. That's what I mean. We just need to watch babies. Sometimes we need to stop and look at a baby.
I be wondering what they be thinking.
Because they can teach you a lot of stuff. They teach you a lot of stuff on, look, talking, walking. I remember when both of you all learned how to walk. Y'all didn't stop until you actually could walk.
Well, one thing I told people whenever I talk about sales tactics, the best salesman that you will ever see is an infant.
It's a who?
An infant. A baby is the best salesman you will ever see, because guess what? The baby is doing all of these tactics that we're really doing right now. When they want something, they're gonna make sure you find out they want that,
And they trust in the process, like we said in the book. No trust.
Like, I'm a cry till I get it. Yeah, this no. Yeah, this no. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're respecting the process. Respect the process on what needs to do from point A. And if you have somebody who knows something, it's better learn to somebody like royalty. You didn't get in trouble on certain parts because you seen your brother would get in trouble on those parts. So you learned what not to do in those areas. So even when you have siblings, the youngest sibling don't see that as well. So closing, what you all have to say, because we're done. So what did you all get from the chapter, and we can just be out of here?
Patience. Patience is a virtue. Patience, patience, patience. Take your time. Even if you focus on another thing, understand that other thing you're focusing on, the universe is going to make sure that other thing that you're wanting to focus on, because you're easily distracted as a human being, is going to end up being tied into your main focus. But because of how we are, we're going to ignore the comparison. So stay focused and understand what you're doing.
Focus,
Biker boys.
focus. I need
Biker
to,
Boys.
I
What's
need to
your
put that
ending?
on repeat.
Like on Biker Boys the movie, what's your ending?
Yes, I taught y'all that. I taught you Biker Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have not seen Biker Boys. Go look at Biker Boys. It's have that in there. Yeah.
Yeah, tunnel vision, beginning with the end in mind.
Begin with the end in mind, and because a lot of times you're gonna have people trying to throw you off your game, gonna try you have you go a different route. Just understand, and I mean we're human beings. That happens. But we need to understand that's why I believe a personal mission statement is a must, because when everything's going crazy and somebody, because you're going to want to turn up with your friends, you're going to want to do this, you want to hang out, but you're like, okay, I said this particular item I want to do. You're like, you know what, it's not part of my plan right now. Even with money, when people are like, oh, can you loan me some money? I can have the money. I'm like, no, it's not allocated for that. My money is not allocated to loan you anything.
Hey, I keep broke. I gotta
Bro.
I don't have it.
I don't have it. What do when you get 100 in your bank account and someone asks you for 10?
I don't have it. If you have 10,000 in your savings account and 5 in your checkings. Hey, we was tripping out this one day. Like, we made a whole we was making a whole we had a whole broke five broke meeting. Like
Broke five broke.
Bro, five, bro.
I mean, but I told y'all, you decide if I have a certain amount of money in my account, that means I don't have it. You decide what that amount's going to be. You can say, if I got some, I don't have it, because that's it's going below my threshold of how much I'm supposed to have in my account. I don't have it.
Mm-hmm. That's part of that discipline too.
Yeah.
Because one thing that is, even a squirrel has enough patience to know how to find out how to get the nut, and that's just facts. Like people always talk about, like they're like, well, you have the attention span of a squirrel. A squirrel knows when to jump out of that tree. It knows when not to. It knows when to run. Knows when to hide. Like,
squirrel be with it, huh? We go engine on squirrels.
So the next one, which will be 2 weeks, is you all chapter 9. We almost finished with this book, and it says push beyond your limits. Self-belief. So you're going outside the I'm thinking this is more of outside the comfort zone way of thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
So I think that's what it is, outside. So push beyond your limits.
Bink.
That's the next chapter that we almost done. Look at that.
We got the black. Yeah, we just got this left.
Just got this left.
We read all that. Boom.
Read all of it, but we got not gonna come on Thursday because that's you know, I don't even say Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
yeah, that next chapter is about to be something hectic. I just read the first half of the first page right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really self-awareness is a thing.
Yep. What it say? Your sense of who you are will determine your action on what you end up getting. Yeah, your personal mission statement. I'm thinking it's more of a personal mission statement. Your personal mission statement.
Like I'm still thinking, where's everyone's dream board at? Like, where's everyone?
Yeah, we used to do that all the time. We used to do our dream board. We need to have a virtual dream board party. That would be good.
Invite everybody.
Yeah, virtual dream board, and we're doing we end up copying and pasting images on our dream board and show and explain what's on that dream board. That's a good idea.
See a little Yoda in the back.
You see him?
Little Yoda.
My love.
I got a song with Lil Yoda. Nah.
All righty, so here we go.
All right, everybody. Enjoy your holidays. Touch me, tease me, and caress me. Hold on tight and don't let go. Baby, I'm about to explode. Oh, yeah. Yes, I know you, baby. Oh, yeah.
Been patiently waiting to get in this game. Could barely keep up with the reasons. Been focused on eating and keeping my family together. You know,